didn't do the homework, what stopped you?
I just started.
Go ahead, Megan.
Oh, I was just gonna say I just started this week becoming a morning gym person.
A morning gym person! Yay, one time. I will text you every morning if you want.
Well, it's varied. It was like 7 or 7:20.
Good
But I want to
job.
be like 6:30, so I'm like working.
You're working. Just
Yeah.
etch it back a few
Yeah.
minutes, you
That
know,
helps
each
a lot.
time. Very good. Good job. Kelly, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I was here last time and I completely forgot that there wasn't one at all. So I didn't do this intentionally, but I, with Jess's Zoom lead gen, I've been jumping in on that. And I feel like that is helpful, you know, even though we're not all in the same room or whatever, we're just kind of all doing the same thing. And I made one day, I don't remember, I had something going on in the morning and then I came here, I didn't get in until 10:30 or 11. But I made 2 phone calls to people who've been in my database for a couple years, like they were Facebook leads or something, but I've never called them. And they both answered and they were super friendly, and the guy said, oh yeah, I'll probably be selling my townhome in Farmington in a couple of years, and you know, and I'm like, oh, you know, do you mind if we keep in touch? He's like, no, that'd be great, please do, and blah, blah, blah. So it wasn't anything right at that moment, but it just helped with the momentum. And like Jason and I were talking about the other day, and this isn't news, I'm not the first one to discover this, but just doing the actions, even though you aren't getting results from those specific actions, brings about other things. So like I've been getting Facebook messages and texts with, you know, hey, I've got this person who I want to refer to you, you know, can I get your contact information, and that sort of thing. So just, you know, that little bit better on calls. And then Jason and I have started, we've only done it once so far, but a morning walk. And that is our new thing in the morning.
Love it. And Megan, I'm gonna put you down for, what time should I put you down? I'm just gonna say Megan, gym routine. I'm just kind of taking notes of the things that you guys are saying, like pressure lifted, you know, mindset, you know, felt like I was moving forward, right? Somebody else is gonna say something?
Just say if your doorbell rings really early
It's us.
and there's nobody there, just know we rang and ran.
Well, the good thing I have a ring. They live like 4 blocks from me, and they've said this before and they've never done it. Now this time they probably will. On the day maybe that I don't go to the gym, right?
They live 4 blocks from me too.
Oh, from college, yeah. That's also the joke.
Oh, yeah.
That's also the joke inside the office, is that, you know, yeah. Okay, well, what time should I expect you, Rod? I have some coffee ready. Just talk to Kelly, okay, all right. Okay, so anybody else thoughts on anything that you've done in terms of implementing action? Sherry?
You know, I didn't set an exact schedule, but I made priorities of like a couple things that I want to start doing every day, so it wasn't overwhelming. And I think she said it best today, of like, give yourself, if it doesn't happen right first thing in the morning, do it at some point during the day. Like, and it may not have been what you originally wanted it to be, but so maybe you get your gym workout, go for a short walk on your lunch break, or, you know, and I found that to be just kind of habit forming. Yes. And, you know, and the timing of it and like making myself do it at the exact time isn't necessarily the most important part of it, but right now it is.
Yes, she said it's great too, right? I think you said, show yourself grace if you're not getting it all done crammed in the morning when you say you're gonna do it, as long as you're getting it done during the day, like, that's good. Yes, Lisa?
One more thing that I added, and you're gonna laugh at this.
So you gotta talk a little louder.
One more thing I added, and you're gonna laugh at this, is I do have breakfast date Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with my daughter. So I just had to get up 15 minutes earlier and I can make her breakfast. And then we have that time. And it's like that 15 minutes of just undivided attention, and it's awesome.
The only reason why I started to chuckle is because I thought, I know that because you told me that, but my mind when you had breakfast dates scheduled with men Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Because I also know you're in the dating world, so you know.
Actually, when my daughter, maybe Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay, there you go. Okay, let's put that down as a to-do for Lisa. Time block dates on Tuesdays and Thursdays in her calendar. No, when you started to say it, and then you talked about your daughter just getting out of bed 15 minutes earlier, she can make breakfast for her daughter. I mean, how powerful is that? Thank you for sharing. We'll get the dates handled too. Steve.
I wasn't here last time, so I didn't know what the assignment was, but there was another thing I was supposed to get involved with, no TV, you know.
Failed that.
Oh boy, somebody just said failed. Oh, the 75 well part, right?
March Madness got in the way?
75 hard well
Yeah,
style.
75 hard, the wealth
Yeah.
stuff, right? Katie
But
Wealth.
anyway, I used to watch a lot of Fox News throughout the day, and I've pretty much gone cold turkey.
Yes.
Good. It just matters. It's like, there's very rarely anything positive, no matter, it's not whatever channel you want with news, it doesn't matter. Go this way, that way, in the middle, whatever. It's not good stuff. So filling your brain full of that crap is, yeah. Sasha.
I added 2 things. I was doing Monday or Tuesday and Friday workouts. I moved it to Monday, Wednesday, Friday with the trainer. So then you have to be there or you're paying for nothing.
Yeah.
And I found myself in a little bit of a mental rut of not wanting to get up in the morning. No matter what exciting thing I had going on, I just kind of was in a crappy rut. So every morning this week, I have said to myself before I get out of bed, I am in control of my attitude and my altitude. And I'll say it like 15 times.
Yes, yes.
And then get out of bed and be like, yes, okay.
Yes. And
I
she
am
spoke
in
on that
control.
on the panel too. How did you word it so beautifully when you were talking about that?
Well, I'm not sure, but I admire you for being able to share that, and I have the same thing where you just have to get up, dress up, and show up, and sometimes it's even jumping on social media, so you have a reason why you have to get ready.
Have to get up.
Yeah, or showing up at the office.
Or
Very
having
real.
that accountability group inside the office. There's a group of you that meet on Tuesday morning, and when Katie Beaton said that, I wrote it down, and Danielle and I were talking about it. We have this group, but yet we don't, it's not as powerful as a small group of 5 or 8 people, right? Because when I talk about homework, I joke because I'm one of your coaches, right? And yet that's the only way that's going to move us forward. A lot of these aren't even business, which I love, right? Because we had talked about finding that counterbalance, but I think we should figure out the accountability groups in the office. And even if it's 2 days a week that you're meeting here just to lead gen or just to hang out, share a listing presentation, objections, then you would come in and you have to get out of bed that day because you're committed to a group of 5 or 8 people. Right? What else? Anything else?
I was just gonna say, my morning routine is no issues there. It's pretty much the same thing every day, other than sometimes I wake up at 2:30 instead of 4:30. But
You
so
too.
morning is good. It's when I get to the office that the distractions sometimes or the issues, and so it's been really challenging to, you know, and I'm really good about getting my couple hours in and getting my prospecting, but replace, you know. If you're gonna erase, replace, and so it just has to happen at a different time of day. But I notice there's not that intensity level of energy when I have to do it later in the day than at the beginning of the day. And so so I'm gonna work on the morning routine when I get here.
We talked about this last time. Does anybody remember the 5, I just need to start bringing my MREA book. Does anybody remember the 5 energies? 5 energy plan? Emotional, spiritual, I think physical falls under emotional. Now I'm in trouble as the coach not knowing. Will you go grab an MREA, Jess? Please. Financial.
And you need to ask John what he did this morning.
John?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you do?
Well, why?
Oh, here we go. I got it. Spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, and business. So I simply just replace lead gen or business with lead gen, but business. You do all of that every day. I think they say by 11. I'm gonna go with, if you can get it all done by noon, you're winning. Thank you, Jason. What else?
I had a shift that reading has always been like one of my hobbies and like my relaxation things, but
Yes.
realizing that reading can fit into my day as business. When you gave me the homework of reading the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. So just taking a few minutes and having that time in the morning to charge up and reading a business related book, like that was just kind of a little shift for me. Instead of I would try to do it at like when my day was done, that's like, you know, my fun time. but then it would get pushed to the side if I was too busy.
So now you're doing it in
So
the
actually,
morning.
I'm doing it in the morning as part of my, morning routine, kicking me up, getting into the mindset of my day. Just reading.
So many times have we heard that
Whether
word?
that or listening to podcasts too, I've also added podcasts in, I wasn't doing that before.
How many times have we heard that word today so far? Mindset? I don't know, like 20, right? It all matters. Yeah. Yep.
I
Yes.
wanna know what John did.
So I, for the first time, got up at 6 a.m. and I joined the pivot call.
Nice. Good job. Pivot call. Way to go. Pivot call. All right, what else? Anything else? Kelly.
About what?
Fun time.
I said reading used to be my fun time, like that was my reading, downtime, fun time. But no, I also have been a lot more intentional about turning my phone off and being present. Someone this morning, I know at one previous one, I talked about that I failed miserably at that. For example, today's my daughter's 18th birthday, so I got up a little early today to be able to take her to coffee. That's one of her big sweet treats. So it was only 20 minutes, but I just fit it in before my 9 a.m. appointment.
So what I love best about
And left my phone in my purse.
what I love best about what you said, it was either last month or the month before, you got extremely emotional talking about how you were at one of your daughter's last basketball games, and you were negotiating a deal, so your head was in your phone, and then you felt like crap for it, and shared it, very openly and vulnerable in front of the group, and you've made a shift forward on that already. So kudos to you. Good job. Good job. Anything else that we've done to implement just being 1% better each day? Whether it's personal, business, emotional, spiritual, physical. Okay, Candace.
Well, I've made some changes in my business, and I think that's helped me, especially in my mental capacity, because it was really stressing me. But I've been just showing up more, especially the last couple of weeks, and intentionally doing that. I just wasn't for a while, and I just didn't, like Kelly said, I just didn't feel like getting up, or I just was just down on myself and just going through it.
Yeah. Well, we all get into the business because we're entrepreneurs and we want to make our own schedule, right? And so when then everything's flying all over the place and we're not intentional, then we have no business, and then that's why you were down. All of us have been there, right? Thank you for sharing.
I just wanted to share, and it's not specifically to do with this, but it does have a little bit to do with what Candace just said and what Tasha said. I shared a thing on Facebook the other day. It was this video, this guy asking these two youngish people, if I give you $1 million, what would that do for you? And they're like, oh yeah, that'd be great. And so, no one could put you in a bad mood at that point, right? And they're like, yeah, no one, that'd be great. And then he said, okay, so what if the next day I give you $10 million, but you can't wake up the next day? And they're like, no way. And he goes, so waking up tomorrow is worth more to you than $10 million. It was like, holy crap. That's just, it was super eye-opening. And not like I wake up now and go, oh, I'd rather wake up than have $10 million, but when it's put in that perspective, it's like, holy crap, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. She said it again. You should just say this whole time because we just keep referencing you.
Is this your mega agent?
Yes.
This is incredible, you guys. Sorry, I just want to share that.
No, I know. And what times you're listening to women in Lakeville? Who has a buyer for a 350 townhome?
Townhome, Lakeville.
She
Call
said,
me,
oh,
is it
Colin,
one level?
oh, Sarah.
There's a main level bedroom. A little unique.
Yeah, okay, where's it at?
It's in Lakeville.
She's like, let me pull up the address. Well, don't tell me the address because you haven't signed it
I
yet.
haven't inked it yet.
Okay, she's inking it today. Text me when you ink it.
I will.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys for
We appreciate it.
having me.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys are incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for sponsoring lunch.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yes.
What she had said is, she often didn't even have a bed to sleep in. So how about when she doesn't want to get out of bed now, when she wakes up, she's like, starts with gratitude, and one of the first things she said is, thank you for the bed that I just woke up in, right? So even if you think you have nothing to be grateful for, you have a freaking house, you have a bed, I know all of you do, so start there, right? Mindset matters.
Mindset matters.
See you later, thank you. Okay, so anybody else gonna share? No, you did. Is that it? Jess?
So Jason and I were talking last week, and this theme of lead gen kept coming up, right? And so, he's like, it means a lot when, you know, you can sit next to a PC agent and do lead gen with them, right? So then we started doing the Zooms, and I have myself unmuted so they can hear what I'm doing, but give like, this is what I'm working on. This is how you can do it in command. Takes like 5 minutes. We're doing A and W this week. And then this is what I'm saying. And both Heidi and John were on, and then that's what they did, right? And so being vulnerable to say like, oh my God, I'm not doing my lead gen.
Yeah.
And I want you to hear how I'm doing it, and we gotta start somewhere, right? And so that has been super helpful, and, you know, I mean, that's the thing, is it's three days a week on Zoom, and anybody can join in.
Yeah.
So super
So
simple.
if you want more accountability, you just do it, right? You just get on and mute yourself and do it. Okay, shifting gears. So one of the things that I was thinking about for today and chatting with all of you is it's been pretty heavy on Jamie and I's heart and mind and entire leadership team, because we've been talking a lot about it. We're hearing a lot of you are scared of the market and you don't have any business, you don't have any pendings. And I think now more than ever, one of my favorite bold laws, I think I took the bold maybe 11 or 12 times, but one of my favorite bold laws is this one right here: fear or faith, you choose. And so I think we need to dive into, you know, how we can get ourselves out of this funk and how we can get more business and how we can be more accountable to ourselves and our families and our friends and our coworkers, or, you know, your nieces and nephews, you name it. Because I think it matters. Mindset matters a ton. And nobody has a crystal ball. We don't know what's coming in this market, but we know that the agents that aren't selling any homes, that do 1-2 deals a year, are gonna get out. And then that just gives more market share and more transactions for us. But we gotta get up, we've got to hustle, we've got to get on the phones, we've got to Facebook, you know, message, we've got to call our past clients, like we've got to do the work. And so unless there's any other topic that you all wanna talk about, you drive this conversation, not me. And we always said we would start, you know, with this. So what does this mean? Okay, so what goes where? Leads. We have 3 different answers. Where do leads go?
Leverage is on the right.
Leads at the bottom.
5 leads at the bottom.
You gotta have those first.
Yeah. Leads is the foundation of your business. Okay, so we can dive into anything on this, or we can dive into mindset and see how we can help one another choose to flip our mindset to faith over fear. What do you all want to talk about? Boy, did that just get heavy? Sorry. Jamie.
I just want to add, for those of you who haven't seen Jordan Creed, that's a great place to start, because he helps you get to the root of why you're fearful about it to begin with. Sometimes it's not just as easy as, okay, I'm just going to set these appointments, set time to make a call, and you set the time, and then something else distracts you, and then you get away from it because there's something that you're fearful about. So please put it Jordan Creed so that we can get past the fear.
Yeah, that's a great point. Unless you're on track for your goals, and even if you are, you still should be in the room next week. I understand it's an investment of $299. And no shame if you haven't signed up and you're planning on going. Would you be brave enough just to raise your hand right now and tell me that you haven't signed up, but you plan on coming?
I haven't signed up and I plan on.
Okay, 3 for sure. Okay, that helps because we're at the risk of it being canceled because we don't have enough people. So I'm just gonna write those down before I forget. We'll add it to the total, and I'll call Jordan this afternoon and sweet talk him. So please still do it. Thank you for that. Okay. Mindset, listings, leads, pendings in Arizona. I mean, where are we at with this, Sarah?
1 pending in Arizona.
Okay, so I told you had to share, so this is your time. Be careful to, you know, tell anybody your goals around here, because
Yeah,
okay.
so I was gonna say, I don't remember how long ago, it was a month or so ago, and I don't remember if it was here in the team meeting, but I said we were gonna buy another investment property in Phoenix, and we have an offer accepted. I'm flying down Tuesday for the inspection.
Good job. Yay.
I'm in the state of like shock that my husband actually is on board with doing this, and we found a house as quickly as because last time it took a long time, months.
He probably
And we
isn't in
saw,
shock
like,
because I texted him and said, hey, congratulations.
You did.
He sent the screenshot to Sarah and said, is there something I should know about? And he goes,
That is exactly what
and then
happened.
you said, just say, yes, I'm okay with looking at another investment property. So he messaged back, he's like, yep, so exciting. I thought I'd sweeten the blow for when she got home that day. Yes, honey, it's just another investment property.
He needs a little, he sometimes just needs to digest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do
I
it like
have one
Sarah,
like
you
that.
just wait and tell them after it's under contract.
No, yeah.
No.
You did, that's what you did? You just went and bought a house and you didn't tell her until
I
after?
put in so many offers that don't get accepted, so then the time that it does, like, all right.
I suppose you've done that too.
For sure, Colin does.
Yeah, it does that.
Yeah, Olivia showed up at the closing table to buy houses she didn't know she bought.
That's what she also doesn't like.
This is true.
What time do I have to be on?
I just put it in my calendar, I'll be there.
I did that with a dog one time.
Oh, wow, that just shifted gears now. So we're buying another dog that needs to be fed by 5 o'clock every day or they whine.
Carly, who I still, 11 years later, she's still our
I
awesome
knew
dog.
which dog you were talking about, it's on social media. The dog wants to be fed at 5 o'clock every day. And actually, I texted Jason the other night, one of our agents needed, total side note. I texted him the other night, one of our agents was, part-time agents was struggling with something in command, and of course that's not my forte, it's his. So I texted him like, or no, you text me because you got my email, can I take care of this tomorrow? I'm like, yep, it's no problem. I said, I think I said, like, thanks for your time, and you said, well, hey, just do this, tell her to do this, and I'll chat with her tomorrow. And I said, okay, thanks, now go feed the dog. And he texts back and he goes, I literally was just feeding the dog. I'm like, well, you're late because it's like 7:30 and that dog gets whiny if it doesn't get fed at 5, according to social media. Yes.
Right, you follow her dog, huh?
I guess because I interact with her posts, all of her freaking stuff comes, I can say that word there, pops up in my.
Olivia, my dogs are very excited to stay with you when we go close
In June?
Yeah.
Okay.
June.
I'll be at the cabin, sorry.
I love the cabin.
Oh, no,
We
there's
would
no
have
dogs
to-
allowed in the cabin either.
Cabin rules.
Yeah, that is a cabin rule on the wall, no pets. I'm just kidding, it's not. But that's a good idea.
But it could be.
But it will be. It will be. That's my homework. Okay, I digress. Getting back to this. So mindset, listings, business, what do you want to dive into today? It's your mastermind.
Can I just throw one thing out?
Please.
I think that several of us have talked about this today, Megan and I and Lisa and Emily and Chase, just how useful, and I don't think everyone is using it to its full potential, how useful the withheld list is.
Yes.
Just a reminder. Unless you're looking for the same thing I'm looking for, then
Then
don't.
don't. Stay off the list. Yes, Tasha.
So I know that we put out the new withhelds, but can it be a rolling, everything that's withheld?
It's on the
If you
spreadsheet,
go to
yes,
the
yep,
spreadsheet, it's
yep.
all like a
So when they
living
send out
document.
the email on Monday, I think it says like buyer needs and withholds or something in the subject. If you click that link, it has them all. Okay, yep, you got it. Colin.
Can I just say something about the withholds too?
No.
I think we need to remind ourselves on a regular basis that when we have dual agency scenarios, our job is to help both parties accomplish their goal and get a deal done. And the reason I'm reminded of it is a weekend or two ago, I was working with Krista on a deal. And unfortunately, we weren't successful in securing the property.
She was listing agent, you
She
were
was
buyer
the
side.
listing agent, I had the buyers, and somebody wanted the house, like, it was dumb, wasn't it, Chris?
It was.
What they were willing to do.
What they were willing to
It was
pay
dumb.
was insanity.
But it was very refreshing because Krista took her role as a dual agent in the scenario super seriously and was working with me to the best ability she had to help my clients understand what it would take to get the deal done. Because she owes a responsibility to my client just like I owe it to hers, because it's not hers and mine. It's the brokerages, right? So I think the whole withheld deal and off-market opportunities, not only is it an opportunity, but it's our responsibility to sell one another's listings.
Yeah.
And if we can get a deal done, who are we gonna trust more than somebody in our brokerage?
Yeah.
To know that your clients are marching down that path to closing, and you know you've got a good agent that you can trust on the other side, and if something is maybe going south, that they're going to come to you and tell you before you get too far down the path, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was just a really, really good reminder. It is our duty to help our buyers collectively buy our listings.
Yeah.
That is our job.
I think we've done 2 or 3 with Kelly now, and we've done 1 with Chad, and, so yeah, it works. Who had their hand up? Shane?
I did not do my homework from last time, but I do remember bringing up the withheld and kind of what I said last time. I just talked to Chase yesterday too, which I got follow up with you, Chase. But, we only have that little snippet of the Excel, and then we have the snippet of your own discipline to look at it. But I said last time I would be willing to, and then people are like, not sure if you want more meetings, but I think it's either Chase and I talked about either having it via Zoom, or you actually just take time to talk about withheld with people who want to try to do that. And so last time I said we could do it right after a team meeting and just have a withheld powwow. We call it the war room.
Yeah.
Withheld war room, but.
So.
We went down that path.
One of the.
We did go down that path at one time.
Should I talk about the every week thing? We've talked about doing a team meeting every week. And if we do, will you come? Because it's a lot of work to put everything together, right? Like it took hours to find the speakers, we write the questions, the content, it's a lot of preparation. And we will do it. We will absolutely do it. We always have to end up cutting something out to provide the most value. There's always so many announcements, and then sometimes vendors gone. Sometimes the vendors take longer than they should, even though we tell them 2 freaking minutes and that's it, right? And sometimes they take 6 and it's like, well, that just took 4 minutes out of the panel, and that is something that we would add back in a couple times a month is a discussion on withheld, so curious if you would come, and it's just every Wednesday at 11 o'clock.
I would come, but that's not what I'm going to say.
Okay.
So Kelly on my team is from Edina Realty.
Yes.
She talks a lot about whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called.
Edina Network Realty.
Whatever it is.
Something.
And so for their withheld, it's like a mini MLS. Like they have photos in there. They can go, so when they reach out to somebody saying my buyer is interested, their buyer, they have photos.
Yeah.
They know what the kitchen looks like. And she said they're not professional photos. The kitchen might have dirty dishes in the sink and crap on the counter, but they at least know what the kitchen looks like, or the backyard, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not good about this. I'm trying to be better about snapping pictures. It's hard. Sometimes sellers are like, no, the house isn't ready. You're not taking a picture of my living room right now.
Yeah.
But if we could be more intentional about grabbing, even if it's the front of the house, the kitchen, and the backyard, a few of the key things a buyer's gonna care about, and putting it on Facebook or whatever. And I don't know, there's no way we can create our own.
We tried that with some KW offices, and it didn't work. There's a guy that created a whole system around it, and then it was gonna be like $4,000 a year for every market center to participate, and nobody wanted to pay it, not knowing if it would work like an Edina Realty, right?
Well, and it's tougher too, I think. Well, you said several brokerages, but Edina is
It's all
huge,
one,
and we are
they can
all-
share all
That's
the
the
things.
thing.
Exactly.
Right.
I tried, I went to
Yeah.
Greg and said, I have this luxury
Yeah.
listing, can I send that to all the offices? And he said, nope.
Yeah.
He said, they can call you, but you cannot reach out to them.
So on that note, before I come to a couple people over here, we do have the other Facebook group, which is the pre-listings and buyer needs, should we fire that back up?
I think we need to talk about that a little bit more. I forget about that all the time, and I've got 2 listings right now that I
Do
can
we
be
have,
putting on there.
4
that are coming.
Facebook groups?
No,
Because
there's 2 Facebook groups.
And then there's the public facing one, but that's not for us.
Yeah, there's 2 closed
And it's
Facebook
not even
groups.
group affiliation.
Yeah.
Lisa did a really good job of posting her listing, her withheld the other day.
Oh, in which group? See, I didn't even
And
see that.
the Facebook page, but I didn't know until just now you have 2 Facebook pages.
Oh, it can be posted in the regular, I just think if we start getting 10 to 15 posts in
Right,
there about withhelds a
Then
week, everything else is not gonna, you're not gonna see anything else. When we're like,
Also-
help, hurry, sign up for
I keep pointing at you because you brought this up, but also I feel like if we utilized that pre-list and, withheld page again, then if you have a buyer, you can go there instead of scrolling through every announcement in our
Yes.
office Facebook page.
Yes.
It could take you forever to
And you
find
can
this
ask
out.
questions there.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
get that fired back up. Lisa.
I understand the withheld, like if I have a buyer that's struggling out there, I wanna try to find something off market, but like 9 out of 10 times, isn't it in our seller's best interest to go on the market, in this market, to get?
It's up to the
offers?
seller. It's completely up to the seller. You can't,
About the pros and cons.
yeah. It's I was just gonna say, here comes Colin.
Okay. So, and Chase is going to back me on this 100%.
Chase?
Right, so do it, Chase.
Or the advice funnel
We
gets
just
shut off.
had on our scripts call, Tricia, you and I, on our scripts call, whenever it was, we had this very discussion. If there is one thing I learned, and I'm sorry for those who are seeing, if there's one thing I learned in jumping into the investment world, it was that I had to take my preconceived notions about what was important to that seller and put them right on the shelf. Because what I thought was important to that seller, totally irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. So, to your comment, Lisa, isn't it in our client's best interest to go to market? Maybe, right? Maybe. If they tell me, I don't care about anything other than the price on the offer that I receive, chances are we're going to the open market. But what about the seller that says, you know what? I can't bear the thought of having 30 groups running through my house over a weekend. It feels really disgusting to me. And if you can bring me an off-market opportunity and just get this done without the rigmarole, as long as it's fair, I'm all in.
And I totally get that, because I understand that, and I do that. I guess my question is there that many, for all these people that are selling the houses off market or off that withheld, is it that client's best interest? Like, they chose not to do that, that's why it's happening? I guess is my question. Is there that many out there that it's
I
not?
bet you we have 5 on HHG's withhelds right now. I bet you we have 5 of our 20 that would take an off market.
I
They
think
just don't
you would
want
all
it to
be
go.
extremely surprised. I've said to Olivia, I don't know how many times, we ever sell our house or when we sell our house someday,
When,
it's going to be
Fine.
off market. I do not want people walking through our house. I've been there, I show houses, I see what it's like, it's not happening.
does anybody have a buyer for a 450, 475 split, Lakeville, 4-bed, 3-bath, 3-car garage, new
We're
patio,
not selling
new
our house.
driveway,
Nicole,
new kitchen, beautiful hardwood floors, Chase.
I'll
And stop by Colin.
Stop by Colin's house.
I think it's important to have this dialogue to set expectations, because I do think, so you explain it to your client, right? But I do think, I don't want people getting mad if we put in there 500 and they come in and offer 500 and we say, look, in order for it to not go on market, we want it to be 510 or 520. It sounds like that's probably what happened, but as long as those are the expectations, like I'm doing a deal like that right now. Emily looked at the withhelds, I got a Sweet Briar Lake deal, she came in 15 over list, I told her, clients were asking that same question, like, are we high enough or whatnot? I told her it's gonna take a little bit more, it all worked out, everybody's happy. So I think it's just like you said, like working it, but not being
Oh, you got one
That's
too?
the one that I just.
If you can't necessarily pin them to list price.
Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And I think like, I'll have that discussion with my clients, hey, if I've got somebody that wants to come in before we hit the market, are you open to that? Yep. I'm telling you right now, if they fall in love with it, my advice to you is we better get a premium on where we think it should be, because you are also giving up an opportunity in order to provide them one. So let's make sure it's a fair deal, or at least a perceived fair deal for both sides. If they're if everyone's happy with the deal, it's a good deal. I think you have to tell them, hey, you might get more if you go to the open market. Yeah, that's fine, but that is a totally fair number, and if I don't have to go through this crap, I'm all in.
I
And
feel like
Greg
the-
has,
I was just gonna say, I feel like the biggest thing for my listings, whenever they've taken a withheld offer, is that not so much people traipsing through their house, but wow, now I don't have to get it completely ready to show. It's gonna cut out a ton of work for them.
And they all have their own need, right? Whatever it happens to be.
I have a withheld I've got, and she's not gonna be ready probably for the market till the 1st of May because of the fact that she has twice as much furniture as the size of house she has, and she doesn't know what to do with it all. And so she's struggling with that. She's out of town for a week here, and then she'll be back. But so we've listed it, we've got it, but right now she's got a living room full of boxes, she's got a bunch of stuff, but she's got furniture from all over the world, which is really strange. It's not, and it's a hard show right now. It won't photograph well right now. It won't do any of that. And so, but I also have 2 people that might be interested in looking at it, so.
yeah. Greg has said that if we are gonna do them off market like that, he'd love to have an email from the seller that says, I, agree to sell my home off market, signed, seller. I give a high five to my gym buddy back here that I see every day, and you brighten my day with a smile at 6 in the morning. Way to go, Mo. She texted me today and she said, oh, my arms are so sore, and I go, I know. I tried to curl my hair today, or whatever, I text you back, I'm like, I have my arms hurting.
That's me doing less than 1%.
Yeah, I know, because I don't see you there. You didn't even see it, he's too worried about his hair.
Ignoring you.
He is ignoring me, I went,
That's what I would do.
that's what I would do, Michelle. Okay, what else? Candace.
I think on the flip too is talking to your buyers, like setting an expectation on what it should look like.
Yeah.
To offer, like with us,
So you and Megan have one off market right now too? Awesome.
yeah,
working on it.
well, we're working.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like with my seller, she's the personal rebels for mom's condo, so she just wanted to kind of be done with it, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I mean, it's vacant, whatever, but just to like be done with it sooner was her kind of reasoning for the opportunity for off market. But
Love it.
sorry.
Yeah, but for my buyer, it worked out well because we were able to talk to Megan and like he needed closing costs, let's be real.
Yeah.
In this market, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so to be able to negotiate that and
Love
get
it.
that and put it
And
together.
you found it on the sheet.
Well, she posted it on Facebook and I'm like, girl, I got somebody.
Yeah, see, the power of social
Regular
media.
page, not the
Yeah,
mailing
her.
list, whatever.
Yeah.
I always forget about that one too, so.
Good.
So
Okay,
Olivia, we were
which
looking at
page?
the numbers,
Her old list.
we were looking at numbers last night, how many
We can't do that,
transactions did we
can
do last year?
1,568.
Close.
That's what it is.
You say one more time.
1,568 closings last year in this office.
1,568. I absolutely believe we can sell more of those.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
I think there's a huge opportunity to deal with this shortage of inventory right now.
Yeah.
I think what we've seen a couple times too where, and we've just gotten burned because somebody will go coming soon, different agency, different whatever. But they'll go coming soon and then all of a sudden we get a no, oh, it's sold. They're like, well, doggone it, why'd you go coming soon? Because we have an appointment on Saturday,
Yeah.
we lost so many deals.
Right.
And now we don't get it, so.
So I also think that there's an opportunity for us to be talking about, oh yeah, thank you, here's the group.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So we will, can you send a note to Chris for me, Jason? And, well, actually, never mind, there'll be a whole discussion, so I gotta get him added on Facebook, because I think what I want him to do is clean this up with the roster, add everybody, because we have 200 people in this office. With admins, we have like 220, and this is at 150, and there's probably people in there that need to be. So we'll get that cleaned up. But yes, join the group, post your withholds, post your buyer needs. What was last said? That's what I was gonna call it.
I was talking about coming soon.
Coming soon.
And losing it before that.
Yeah. I don't know, which is okay. So have we exhausted the withhelds and?
I just have one quick
Yes.
question, just being new to this brokerage and coming from a very small brokerage
Yes.
before, where it was basically, 8 of us, right?
Yes.
How long, when you're doing withhelds, how long are you guys usually having the withheld, be
Some of them are
withheld before
permanent.
coming sooner live? I'm just curious.
Some
what-
of them are permanent withhelds, because they don't want to be on the market. I've had an
Okay.
FBI agent who never wanted to be
Oh,
listed.
sure.
So
So it
anybody
kind of
else?
varies depending on the seller? Do you have a?
I'd say it totally varies. It's, for me, I just want it under contract so I can send my stager through, we can start doing those things. And it might be 6 months, it might be 2 weeks, it might be a week, just how quickly they're ready. But for me, that's my security that they're locked in.
You got it listed,
Yeah.
Don't leave without the listing.
Yep. Okay.
Sure.
So you started the conversation talking about adding another weekly meeting. Just based on the conversation and from brokerages I've come from, I always found that the weekly meeting was helpful to know what sales are happening, what people are experiencing, and also maybe withheld. So maybe one of the 2 of the 4 meetings could be just that, where it's that kind of conversation.
Like
and
what are you
not as
seeing in the
scripted.
market?
Yeah.
How'd you win in
And more
multiples? How'd you
conversations of
lose?
I have
Withhelds?
this coming, what are you looking for? I have a buyer in this, looking for this, more of a conversation meeting than a more formal meeting. I don't know, just so that
I would
I'm less
agree with
work.
that 100%.
Let's do that.
Just a suggestion.
Yeah,
for
we can do that.
It's kind of like a mastermind.
Yeah.
No, I think it's less.
We freaking 30 to 40 minutes of HHG's hour meeting every week is, okay, we wrote 12 offers on the buy side, we got 8 accepted, or we got 5 accepted, we've got 3 accepted. We had 9 that lost in multiples. Well, those of you that won, how'd you win? Those of you that lost, what'd you see? So then we're hearing more and more like what John Hoffmeister posted in the Facebook group, right? This house in Burnsville had 38 offers, and so yeah, we can do that. That isn't a lot of prep. If you want more panels and mindset stuff, obviously we will add that, but we could just start them in May and have them just be on withhelds and what's going on in the market and what you guys are seeing. Second, and those of you on the ALC, will we have to change the ALC time and ALC committee times, but we can do that. Okay, well, stay tuned. All right, we're almost out of time. So didn't really get to, this, which is where I thought the conversation would go, and that's okay, this is your mastermind. I just don't want to leave here without having a couple minute conversation on that, because it's crucial that you guys are doing your job as realtors right now, which is lead generating, which is connecting with your clients, which is searching for off-market homes for your buyers that you keep losing with in multiple offers, right? Jordan Freed said it best like a year ago. When it hits the freaking market, or when it hits the MLS, it's done, it's dead, it's over. Right, meaning if you're gonna get 25 or 30 offers if it's priced properly, right? Tinley was in one the other day in Lakeville, 350 or 375 or 325, something like that. It went for $75,000 over, and there were 38 offers, and she was in the top 5. Okay, well then let's go door knock that neighborhood. Let's pull up a list. Let's pull up expireds from 4 years ago. We have got to get creative with how we're gonna find off-market properties for our clients. So that being said, I guess, we've just got a few minutes left. What would move you forward between now and the next team meeting? Even if it's just that 1% better, and we're not, you don't have to everybody doesn't have to raise their hand, we're not gonna keep track on homework, but what's something general that we can all commit to doing between now and next month? Whether it's, I'm gonna call 100 people from my sphere before the next mega agent mastermind. I'm gonna call 50 past clients. What's something that we can all do to move our businesses forward between now and then, that you will commit to? I don't want anyone in this office to be out of this business because you didn't do your job. So we are going to preach it more and more and more and more that you've got to do your job.
Well, can I just tag on that just a little bit, is the fact that if you lead generate for listings and you have a listing, there's a million ways to market our prospect for around the listing. And prospect for more listings, because when you have listings, the buyers come. I don't want the buyers I have. I'm trying to give them away because I can work with 2 buyers and I'm insane. So, at a time. So that's the thing that I guess I learned when I changed gears, is when I started really focusing on listings and how does a listing create more listings for you. And if anybody needs some ideas of that, I've got a lot of different I'd be happy to share different ideas of how to market around the list. I just wish I had more time to do it.
Yeah. So I'd get up before 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on it.
Okay. Give me a break. Okay, so what can we do? What's everybody in the room willing to do? And maybe your number is different than somebody else's, but could we all at least commit to 100 contacts in the next month? Y'all, you should be doing that in a week.
Is it once a month or every 2 months?
It's every month. First Wednesday of every month. Jason. Oh, yes. Okay, so what's the number? 200? 500.
Remember, when you set a promise with yourself, make sure it's one that
I can do it.
you can do.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw out at least 200. 100 is 20 a week.
20 a day.
For our next,
Yeah,
a month
in
from
a
now.
month.
Yeah, so 5:30.
200? Sure. 100. Freaking 150. Double it. 200. 200. All right.
Sounds like an
That's
option.
the homework. 200 contacts. Keep track of your wins. Keep track of any objections that you get. Obviously, if you get an objection, come to one of us before if you don't know how to handle it or post it in the Facebook group. But let's go for 200. So we, last month, Kelly hosted the kind of the middle level roster mastermind for those people that aren't in productivity coaching, that aren't in on a team, and that are kind of in that middle that are growing to be a capper and plus mega agent. And so we need a volunteer to lead that. It's next Wednesday at 11 unless we're going to, or is it 9:30?
9:30 is when I did it.
9:30, okay, so next Wednesday at 9:30, we need somebody to lead or facilitate that. Essentially, what we like them to do is listen to this mastermind, bring their ahas, and then you're just gonna facilitate a mastermind just like this. So, Sarah, thank you, great. Okay, the last thing, Danielle, give a wave if you haven't met Danielle.
Never mind.
Oh, nope, she
I'll
will be
be
in
in
Arizona
Arizona.
at her inspection. She just went to put it in her calendar. Okay, a volunteer for that. I'm gonna volunteer somebody in a second.
For what?
Next Wednesday, 9:30 to facilitate that mastermind with the middle of the roster.
I might be able to do it, but I have a commitment, but I just gotta see. if I
ALC
can
members in
change
the room, raise your hand. Okay, Shane, it's yours. See, that'll teach you. Get your ass to the gym and I won't call on you.
Get your nose out of your iPhone.
Yeah.
Could we get Krista to teach a class on that?
Sure, we can get on prospecting for off-market listings.
Yeah, how to promote our listings to get other listings.
Shane, I will make sure you are prepared for that.
Okay, 9:30?
9:30.
That's okay.
How you're gonna prepare with that is at 6 o'clock that morning at the gym with me. And I'll teach you. Okay, right, Mo? Okay, so my whole point with that is Danielle, if you have not met her, please stop by and say hi. We've been friends for a few years now. We're in the Georgia Freed Boss Babes group together. She threw out a message in Boss Babes, I don't know, 2 months ago and said, how much would any of you pay a remote person to recruit to your team? And I text her, I said, I'll fly you to Minnesota so fast you don't even know. Because I know how successful she is. She's recruited anywhere from 6 to 10 people a month to her market center, including cappers. Last month, she recruited 10, 1 capper, 4 transfers from other market centers, and 5 brand new agents. And so she also is an incredibly talented coach. And so her and Jessica together are gonna take our coaching program to a whole nother level. And if you don't know her, you need to talk to her. She's freaking incredible. She'll be here physically twice a month for 4 or 5 days. And then she'll be working from Wichita and joining us, on Zooms and stuff. So please, as top agents and leaders in the market center, stop by and say hi to Danielle. Okay, thank you. Thanks for coming. And I'll see you next month with 200 freaking contacts. Or else. You're gonna be like Shane.
Like I got all the work.
That's my homework stuff.
I would say, I meant to say this.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I eat her every month.
There's some kind of a.
Jason, what do you think of my strategy? I just said my strategy is to go on vacation, that's when business comes in. Well,
And in a couple more weeks, it'll be, well, sometimes they have the tax thing going, and then they have to make our it's Earth Day is 22nd. Oh, really? Then there's May 1st, there's May Day. Oh, thank you. And then there's Mother's Day, and then there's Memorial Day. So. Okay. And when I'm touching it, it's in a conversation, and sometimes you just
Thank you.
Yeah, I sent you guys an email earlier this morning.
I saw that.
Okay, yeah, no, you just got, came straight here, so let's figure out, get something moving.
And so,
It just goes by. I'm like, I woke me up in the middle of the night and I was like, whoa, we never got that scheduled.
Yeah, well, just like when I was actually.
That's my first.
Yeah, okay, good.
But you know, it was my mind,
Yes,
you're busy, but then it's
yes,
like.
yeah. Did you have a good trip?
We did.
Good. Hard to find.
And I just took a last night. This is probably very intentional. I like to.
Good.
Instead of, you know,
Yes.
on my phone.
Yes, good.
Yeah, so.
Margaritas taste better.
Huh?
Makes the margaritas taste better,
Well, it
doesn't
took
it?
me until like Friday to find the drink that I liked, because you know, I don't like sweet stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So what did
So
you
it's
drink?
like, I was doing a conversation, so one day I was sitting there, and the little, you know, the little cart comes around, and the little guy that was making cucumber sandwiches. I'm like, where is this? So I thought, well, and then the next day, he said they were margarita, but he was just better at not making it sweet, right? So he was like, making inside just rushing through the bar and dump all the syrup in it. So I'm not, yeah, so he became my favorite.
Yeah, I'm you know, you're like, Thank you for coming. Good to see you.
And then I start with all the lenders I know, and I let them know, I say, hey, you've got a buyer pre-agreement, if you've got any buyers. It's coming up in Evergreen Heights, 550, if you got any buyers, in that price range that you know are looking for a home, it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home. And so I'll let them know, because they each have all their agents and all their people in their pipeline. I'll go do it. Okay. I keep okay, and I.
Are you sure? Otherwise I'll just
Also, that perfect in the marketplace.
And then Chase
So
too,
I
right?
will see who's big agents in that area, or I'll pull up the office by zip code and pull up all, agents that I know.
Now you know why I don't.
I have a list of, I call my top 100 agents anyway, but like, because I think about the transaction. She was one of the ones who were doing stuff, Collins, too, because I had 7 of them, but, you know, and so, everybody.
You didn't see me earlier.
I know, I'm like.
And so we need to establish a relationship. Because when I'm on the
Yeah.
I want to check it out.
Do you want her to take care of it? Okay,
I got
it. Give it to me.
Well, and I think,
You got it?
yeah,
Okay. Are you going to want it?
It makes it.
I didn't speak right.
How about you go and if it's not what you're running?
So I have an email set up just for agents. I just call them, and I tell my clients, I email my top 50 or my top 100, whatever it is, and that kind of thing, and so I shoot that off. Then I do reverse prospecting, and I contact those agents. And those, I can usually call them faster than I can, put emails. I can't really I don't figure out how to mass email, maybe there is. But I wanna get the information out to them, and that, I know all of them, but then I'll go back and call them, maybe agents, I scan them and list them. I'm sure they'll send them, I'm gonna call them and see if they're still looking and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then the other thing I think that helps you guys is help those lists too, because a lot of times.
Bolero.
What
You
time is
accept
it? I'm
Bolero?
gonna take off your
Real quick,
search.
go quick.
You know, and
Yeah.
so sometimes it cleans up some of those lists, cause I mean,
So, yeah, I didn't
sometimes
get
it's 7 pages full of
That's okay.
matches for them and that kind of thing.
Cancel it before.
And then let's see, what's the next thing on my list? So I go through all those, it's all before it's even hit the market, it's all during coming soon. And then from there, I end up,
One bathroom.
you know, I contacted all the people I know, I go through my buyer search program, because I got a page in searches and that kind of thing to see if there's any matches.
You say, yeah. You say what you're gonna say.
I'm having interest. Really I'm trying to think, and then I work from Main Street, so I take, you know, take the 20 around the listing, and then every day, if I haven't got it sold, I just work out for it. You know, right now, the sales get fast, I don't have any time to have to do any of that, so I haven't been able to, I haven't made as many contacts because I'm in multiple offers in the first 3 days, so.
Can you explain street thing one more time?
Oh, it's just a geographical area, so I pull all the phone numbers up on the block, you know, I'll either handle it, you know, I haven't done any of that in this cold weather, but, you know, deliver a flyer. If an agent's gonna, I can do open for open houses, so a lot of agents want to do open houses, and so I'm fine with calling the whole neighborhood a week before they do that open house for them, and just to tell them there's gonna be an open house on Sunday, and if you know of anybody to send them on through.
Do you get the numbers for the neighborhood from the white pages? How do you
Pretty
get
much,
it?
yep. Pages.com is usually, and they're getting pretty
Oh,
close.
something that, because Jay and I have talked on this subject before, so I was gonna share this with her. So I said the last time we talked, yeah, but what about, the white pages will show you do not call, right? Like, don't click and call.
I don't even know.
What was that?
I know, I've been doing a lot.
I call them anyway. As long as
That was
I'm,
the
as long
first-
as I'm really soliciting them. That's why I said, I'm ready to have to go to court if they wanna take me to court, because they're gonna have a hard time proving it. I tried to sell them anything.
Accepted a 9-day.
I'm sharing an open house with them. I'm not asking them for anything, I'm not asking for their name, their money, their nothing.
I'm glad you sold it.
I'm just sharing
I
something.
would have liked them
So,
to.
and I'm ready,
see it,
I'm ready.
but-
I just thought you'd be interested in hearing that.
I'm ready to.
They're looking for that.
The politicians can sit there and make cold calls, and you tell me why they're asking for money, I'm not.
Yeah, right.
Wait, did they go past the do not call?
Oh, they don't have to, that doesn't apply to
I didn't
politicians.
know that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think anything.
Soliciting, they're exempt from soliciting, they're exempt from having to get a license to go door knock in Rosemount and some of the other communities that are now charging fees for door knocking.
2 times we had.
And, you gotta go register and they charge fees for it, so I'm just like, I'm ready to, if somebody wants to challenge me, I'll take on $11,000 fine and challenge it, you know, I've made.
Well, you said you've been doing it for 30 years.
I've been doing it for 30 years and I've made a hell of a lot of money times that more than $11,000.
Tell me when I can change the subject, so I'll let someone else text.
Okay.
So before you came today, we met really quickly, we only had like 10 minutes, something like that in Melissa's office. But, and I don't have it with me, I think it's probably in her office, but she has a little.
See how far I got on the puzzle?
Oh, was that you? I got that, oh, she's gonna be tickle pink. Well, anyways, for the expo, she had a form about this big, and then it has a little, I mean, for them to register, it can go in the drawing, but then at the bottom it's a check, like, are you interested in this, and this, and this? And so then we could put some of those subjects on there. That she had some, and I go, well, we have some too, so we can put some on, and I can create it in Canva.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, so, I just gotta think if there was anything else I wanted to add to it, if there was some other, because I'll probably take off the one and that kind of thing, but I'll kind of put one together, and then if you've got some other things, you know, that you can think of there, that would be fine too.
Sounds good. Because it would be our way to ask if they'd be interested in the seminar.
Right, and then they don't have to fill out a couple of things and that kind of stuff.
And we can categorize people that are interested in these different seminars.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Sally yesterday, Jewels of Joy, and she's all for setting up her booth. She's also,
Well, I had told her.
she'll speak or sing as well, if we ever need
Never
Oh, so what are you doing, a seminar on?
Or C, maybe. Well, ours will be financial, to start with, we're working with a lawyer and then also with financial or estate planning. But one topic will be social security, you know, just because I've asked the seniors what they want to have here about it.
That'll
Social
be the
security was a
ticket
big
for
one.
losing weight.
Another one is
Well, you're not,
aging.
you probably don't, you're not old enough, you don't get a bunch of those, I get those in the mail every week.
Grab me
Somebody's-
some
the-
coffee,
the
because I'll be right back.
Dakota OTEC is doing a social security.
Yeah, I did see that one. Well, anyways, but then the idea that I had, we went to another, we just went to Christian women's, just separate organization filled with 80, 90 or whatever.
Yep.
But it's not like we don't have that faith in that she's got in that kind of group.
Right.
And anyways, they had their speaker, and then they had this woman that, she was older, brought her boutique into this, and then so this group got to speak with them, they got to shout. And I go, oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, for such some of these dry subjects that people want to hear about, but how fun it is to get more people to come and you can say, and you can shop. Right, because this was boutique, she had jewelry and clothes, and she had made everything, but it was actually really nice stuff. Like I said, I looked at it, it didn't look like crap. It was nice jewelry, I bought jewelry. And then, just lots of wraps and clothes and things that she made, but I just think with the elderly, like, you can also shop too. Right? It just makes it fun, it adds an element of fun. So that was just our idea for,
I like it,
yeah, so like for some of those subjects that we want to start doing seminars for, it would be nice to just know who wants to do that, right, you know. So, and another subject was just aging in place, right? What we do, or to, there was another one. It was like we have 3 subjects.
Oh, really? For what?
And then the difference between us and you is that we're willing to work.
Oh, right?
Yeah. Right? Like, that's where I feel like we won't compete against you, you know, just because a lot of the stuff that we're going through or doing and stuff like that is outside of ERA.
Wow.
It's
Sure.
No.
And then I went to the swim one today, this morning, I was already at one of those meetings, and it was for swimming in Edina. It was my first time to go to that one. And what was interesting is that was the first one where there were realtors that were entrenched in that group. So there was a Bridge Realty, there's a Keller Williams one, although she wasn't there, and I heard through the grapevine she's retiring. And then there was Edina Realty. I just heard her name in passing, I thought it was like a Crystal one too or something. Well, anyways, it's some woman. And anyways, but what was funny is the older, when I say older, the people who have been part of this group, like long-term, like you, right? They're very entrenched with these realtors, and when I was introducing who I was, talking to them, just talking in the room, they were letting me know right away that they were good, they liked them, and then, you know, they
It would be harder to
they were so, I really not like this, because that was like something like
Don't worry about that kind of stuff, because there'll always be, there's always opportunities.
No, but it was the first time, so we've been going to some of these different meetings, because there's different groups, ERA is just one of many, right?
Yep.
And there wasn't this entrenchment until I got to Edina.
Okay.
And then the loyalty, and then but I respect loyalty when say members of the group have developed relationships. If they are loyalty, I respect that.
They spend enough time together to make it loyal.
Yeah, I respect it, and so I don't have a problem with it.
I joined, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I told Chris Savani in the office here that I would join her water aerobics thing in the mornings.
I did that when I was in high school.
I said, so this summer when that opens up, I'm gonna be doing water aerobics with all the senior women with Chris.
Oh, that's smart. Well, you're brave to be in a suit. See, I don't think I'd want to be in a suit. Are you leaving? Are you?
No, I had to change the
So
card on.
I better go get some phone calls returned.
Is this fun to see? That's fun to see, because I remember giving it to you. We were a secret Santa.
Yeah, she was my
And
secret
so
Santa.
she wanted practical things, and so one of the things she wanted was a day planner. So I got that for a secret Santa gift.
Yep. It's very well used.
Mine keeps falling apart, so I might have to go back and go get one of those.
I gotta glue it though, it's.
I've had it always coming apart anyways. I thought maybe it wouldn't, because it was made in this on it.
Yeah, but that's okay, it'll do.
Well,
I got plenty of.
my spine, things keep ripping out of the spine because I'm always carrying it, it's jostling around.
Nothing
and-
lasts, it just, it's tough, so. Well, good, I'm liking their ideas, it's really cool. I think it'll be, you know, there's just.
Yeah. Right back to the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
They're living longer, they're, you know, they're.
But, you know, we're probably not gonna
There's-
go.
I don't know, you know, the sad part is the only housing they're building is all this assisted
Well,
living in Independence. And just like my mom walks in and says, you're not going back into I started in an apartment, I ain't going back to an
Well,
apartment.
but actually, what I've heard like when I go to these meetings, right, and you're listening to conversations.
See you later.
And comments of the people who run these homes, right? I don't care whether it's independent living, assisted living, memory care, whatever. But they're all actually afraid for their jobs in the future because most people can't afford that.
I know.
And so they're like, what are we gonna do?
Well, that's what my mom, and especially if you're talking 90-year-olds, like my parents. Because my mom and dad lived through the Depression, and they don't spend money frivolous at all. They don't, I mean, they got money, just don't spend money. And so, my mom, to look at what those prices are now, she thinks that's totally insanity. She, you know, I mean, because they live virtually, they have a $400 a month association fee on their townhouse, you know, and then $180 for electric and.
But even if you didn't think it was insane, let's just say you didn't think it was insane, and you had just what is the typical savings that people have, you'd burn through it anyways in a short amount of time before you would, be able to live it out.
Well, and that's, it's so many of those things, but I agree with you, I think it's gonna be, I think the whole concept is gonna change. Because there's more people I'm finding that are looking for more of a smaller group home setting that has a nurse, you know, it has full-time 24-hour nurse staffing, and, you know, so they just have a different nurse that rotates, you know, one works night shift, one works that or whatever. And, because I have a client who is now living in a senior condo that did that with her home for a while, and then she decided to retire, but, wanted to travel more and that kind of thing, when she had a home in Apple Valley, when she was, she's a licensed nurse. So now she's a nurse for a little senior condo. And everybody calls on her.
Wow.
They need something, but she's gonna go over to the assisted living place, but, you know, or independent living, not assisted living, but, you know. I mean, but there's something to say for having a community and having activities.
I think that that's segment of society, if they can afford it.
Especially if they don't have family close by, it's important.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're locked up in their houses and they don't
And
go
some of
anywhere
those
to
places,
anything.
some of the places are so nice that I could picture myself
Oh,
living
I know.
there when I'm needing that.
I love it.
Except for they're
They
so
got a bowling
expensive.
alley, they got happy hour every night.
But
they
I
got-
wouldn't be able, I don't think I could afford it for long term, like you could for a window of time, but then it would burn through your money, and then unless they had allowed what I hear are
The
these government,
vouchers.
the
vouchers.
government waivers.
Yeah.
But not all those places do.
No, it's always usually the old rundown ones that have, you know, the older buildings that have that. The nice new things don't do that.
Yeah,
And that's why you see people moving in and out of them all the time.
right, but that's
Because-
incredibly sad.
It is.
It's incredibly
It is,
sad.
because they get so ingrained in like my mom says, if I move in there, then I gotta meet a whole new set of friends. I mean, a whole new neighborhood. And she says, I don't know if I wanna do that. She says, maybe I'll just stay here till I die. And
Well, and that's the whole aging in place though.
I know.
And then trying to get, so the way I look at aging in place for us is
But
helping
she's,
someone move to the home that will help them age in place, right?
right. So they're in townhouses, or they gotta modify their townhouse, so they, you
Or
know.
ramblers or whatever.
And that's what my mom and dad are, and they're a one-level townhome, and my dad can't do the stairs anymore. So I send my son over there to take the salt down in the basement, they get it delivered to the door. My son goes over and takes it down and puts it in the water softener, you know, I mean, change furnace filters, you know, I mean. So I told my dad, you don't have to put a basement. You don't have to, if you can't do it, if you're used to it.
Well, and we're
And I'm more worried about you're gonna be.
And we're meeting so many people that if you don't have someone in your life like that, they can do that.
Right.
Do those little tasks.
Right.
So that's so interesting.
interesting.
So when I'm ready and need all that stuff, I'm gonna have a huge database.
That's right.
Of all
I
these people.
Well, and that's where I look at, that's what's been such beneficial because I've these different businesses that do that. Like I have a company out of Burnsville that can do the chairs on the stairs. They can modify things in their home, and that's what they do is basically modification. And so it's been nice for those people who want to stay in their home and that kind of thing. It's still tough though. It's still tough for home people that don't have any family. If they got family around, it's fine. But there's something what they missed with all the socialization though. And just watching what COVID did to my dad and how fast his dementia kicked in without having any socialization. That aspect that you can't.
We just talked about that at the meeting I went to today.
Yeah, you can't get that living by yourself.
They were just saying that-
I have a grandmother who lived, my grandfather died when she was 45 years old. He was killed in a car accident. And she lived alone until she died. Well, she went into a nursing home at 86 because she fell and broke her back. And she laid there overnight before the nurse called the next morning. And then she called again, and then she went over there because she didn't answer her phone. And she'd been laying there all night, and that kind of thing. And so she went to the hospital for a week, and then they said she can't go back home. And so we could call it a nursing home though, because my grandmother refused to go because her idea of a nursing home was like a state asylum.
They have changed that now.
Well, we did. She was in this one level building, and we called it extended care. And I went to, hey grandma, how do you like this extended care? Like, oh, I love it. She says we go down and sing songs, and we have Bible study every day, and we do this and we do that. And I'm just like, you just gotta change the name of it for mentally, because her idea of a nursing home was smelly, stinky, old things that she visited her relatives in, back in the 40s. Yep. And so it's kind of, but I thought about that and I said, she could have spent so many years not being, she didn't drive. She never had a driver's license. She was homebound since basically she was 45 years old. And she'd have some people would come pick her up and take her to church and different things like that, but
Can you imagine at 45?
No.
That's a different world then though.
Yeah, yep. And neither one of my grandmothers had driver's license.
Somehow-
They were both born in 1901.
I was gonna say, and somehow, some way through the gene pool, you came out.
And
Probably like
sassy
me.
self.
Right. It was good talking to you.
Yeah.
Don't forget your thing.
I won't. I gotta go drop off all my mugs and dirty dishes and put them in the dishwasher.
No wonder this is not working. I was thinking, so we haven't talked at all.
I'm staring at you too, but you can have your meeting.
How'd you get a laptop? Did it come that way or is it shell?
No, I can't. It's very inexpensive.
I need the leverage part. I need to find me an assistant.
So spontaneity is a conditioned response or reflex.
Oh, I have to show you something. I have to go get it.
Is that good or bad? We're calling it good or bad?
I have to go get something that I have to show you.
Okay.
Have you ever had a spontaneous thing that you regretted later?
Yeah, but I've also had spontaneous and good. So I wanted to know what they.
I don't regret anything that I did spontaneously. If you didn't do it, you didn't.
True story.
Right? I mean, could I have made better decisions? Yes.
So what was the answer from everybody if they do weekly will we here?
Is there another class that we're interrupting that's coming up?
And two, I'm gonna talk about how to use your app.
Awesome. Let's get me in it.
So that's the command app?
Is there a way to keep the
Like
command?
for showing homes and stuff like that? Or is it, what?
No, it looks just like this.
No, but I mean, like, how is it that we will use it? But I suppose that's your class, right?
The command is not showing Is there a way to stay logged into Command?
I don't need
Like,
that.
I
I
don't
need
wanna have to log in every time I wanna use it.
Then when it asks you if it wants to remember, say yes.
So, okay, your class, though, I just have to ask, I'm trying to decide
Yeah,
whether
no,
to go to it
understood.
or not, so, because Melissa was telling me, she learned something about showing homes, that you can look things up through Command. Is this part of that? She learned something,
We'll
some
talk
app.
about both the apps, the white app and the red app, which is the
So you will talk about that
client
today,
focused,
then
yes.
then I will stay.
Which one is client focused, white
The
or red?
white app,
That's the one I
Can you
need.
give me my username and password? Is that your capability?
I can't, because your password is hooked to your command thing. I can look up your command thing, but it's gotta be like T-Bells. And then your password, you say, forgot my password, and then they'll send you a new one to your backup email.
Geez, that's your password, okay. Username,
But then you gotta know your password.
Before you start
This is
talking, I
super
wanna give you-
specific, so this is no
Yeah.
longer.
We're never gonna
right?
get to talk.
But then how do I,
So this is our new business card with the rounded corners
Oh,
with the right
great.
stuff.
okay, so my.
And then
other
the reason I
color is right
changed this
here.
is
That's
because
right
the
one,
letters
That's
are
the
How do I
red
move
one.
that over
small
there?
and elderly
By the
person
white
needs
one.
big.
How do I
Yeah.
put them next to each
That's
other?
all I was thinking of, and then this is the two-sided brochure, which is, this one's really written for the
So we hold the
associations
screen
and
anywhere
the
there isn't something
businesses,
to the
right? We would probably
Yeah, I've done
alter
that
this
accidentally,
slightly for
but I always
consumers.
just delete stuff. Oh. Yeah. Okay, now they're next to each
And
other.
then this is how I was going to, if I
Once
would
they're
have
shaky,
had a
if
chance,
you,
they just
when
ran out
they're
of time to
shaky,
let us
if you
stand
hit the
up and say
minus,
who
they
we are,
will delete
but
them.
Yeah,
You learned that one.
That
They
I
talked-
caught up to
they
quickly,
got
I'm
to
like, wait,
speak
where'd
up
that
front,
go?
like the add insult to injury. You know,
I
they have
still
to
do
speak
that,
up
that's why I have
front.
to go into
And so then I
like
thought,
the
oh, well,
search
to go
button
around the
sometimes,
room,
when I can't find
what
it
am I
because
gonna
I
say when
deleted
they
it.
just spoke?
Or
we
if
had
you
good stories
drop
and
it on
stuff
top of
about
another
why,
thing,
their
and
why.
then create a folder.
Yeah,
Well,
now I have-
and their big thing was, well,
Yeah,
our
I know
business
my
is built on
Chick-fil-A and my
referrals
other
from
one are
people
together
like
now.
you, blah, blah, blah.
Chick-fil-A
Living.
So then if I got up, what I was
It's
gonna
Chick-fil-A
say is,
and-
you know, I'm
I don't
new
even
here,
know. Yes,
and my
I've done
main
that too.
reason for this group is
Still there.
I,
That's
you
where
know,
Lyft
I
and
want to
Uber live,
provide good
and
service,
Delta.
so
Well,
I
together,
want to network
ideally,
with
you would
all
have
the
like
businesses
real
in this
estate,
room,
travel.
so that I can bring your
Yeah, that sounds
services to
wonderful.
our clients. So
Okay.
that's how I was gonna
I'll
trump
surprise you
them.
with it.
That's
You
how I
get
was
there.
gonna trump it, to
surprise
say,
you, I like
it's not about me,
Probably
it's
not
about you,
But maybe.
so. Yeah, a couple minutes. So this is an event that we could, although there'll be one or two of those vendors I know here, because they were helping to talk it up and stuff like that. I don't know how you feel about it. But it's like this barn dance at the center, and then they have a couple tables left if you thought it would be of interest. They said it's a pretty incredible location. I don't know.
So I just did the Home and Garden Show in Apple Valley on Saturday.
I wanted to hear about that, how successful
And
that
people
was.
are just, don't want to talk to you. They walk around and they look, they just like look ahead, like, don't talk to me. And so,
Interesting.
yeah.
I've been
had
wanting to
that
hear how it's
experience,
going.
but I thought, I'll give it another shot, and I wanted my voice to get out there. And so I did more of stepping out away from my table. Hi, I'm so glad you braved the roads today. Is there anybody in particular that you're looking for? And I didn't, really talk about myself too much. I also had on these snazzy red sparkly high tops. Did you see the lady? Do you remember when we were at?
I'm already wanting some that were.
So there was a lady that had a pair on, and I was like,
I know
"Love your
you're like, I
shoes,"
want
and then
those.
she told me where she got them, and I went and got them.
Let us know when you're talking, when you're ready. 'Cause
I
we're-
will.
What?
I will.
Okay.
It'll be
Oh my
around
gosh,
2.
I just thought of this now that you were saying it.
I'll probably
What about-
chug for about 6 minutes.
What about doing
Okay.
a giveaway that people want to stop?
Cute.
That's not related to real
So
estate.
that's what we did.
Like
We
Instapot or,
So we
whatever.
did these beautiful magenta hydrangeas and said, sign up to win. We did a QR code instead of paper because, I thought that would be better because the QR code, the Wi-Fi was terrible, so it didn't work. We did get a couple signups and most people were like, no thanks. So I thought, how to plan, that's what we're doing at this one. or
But that's
the
with
one-
the elderly people.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, you're right.
Maybe something bigger, like
Yeah,
something
they need a bigger reason.
stupidly crazy, like,
How to plan didn't work.
like your, that thing that you had where you guys were giving away that bike, the electric bike.
Yes, raffle tickets, yes. So this is all for
Seniors, so yeah, I would be willing to do this. How much is this?
well, I don't think it was too expensive, but no, I only wanna do it if you think that, if you think it would, I know nothing about like attendance at this event. I don't know, is it worth it? I know we're gonna compete probably against other realtors.